Hey guys, Sheloppe here. Welcome to Project Cars and welcome back to the Nurburgring challenge. Today we have the Ariel Atom 300. Yeah, the Ariel Atom 300. It's not an easy car to drive around this track. It's a fun car to drive, don't get me wrong, it's fun. But it's not easy to drive. As you can see, I have the ghost turned on for this. Didn't really work out as well as I thought it would, so I think this is going to be the only video I do with it in it. And see, I come around that corner and I spin out because with this car you just have to be so delicate with the gas pedal. So on to attempt number 2. We are now given control. Struggling to find what gear I'm supposed to be in. I'm so happy to have my wheel back. Haven't even started and I just hit the throttle too hard. But I figured I'm not being timed yet. So, and once you come across that sharp corner there, it doesn't really matter how fast you're going because you still gotta hit the brakes. But as you can see, this car really wants to slide. So here we are, starting attempt number 2. Going around these corners here, you can tell I'm trying so hard to be delicate with that gas pedal because this car just, the amount of wheel spin you get on it is insane. I mean, I've seen drag cars do burnouts with more traction than this thing does. And the game thinks we cut the track there, so on to attempt number 3. As you can see, coming down this part here is fairly, I can be fairly flat out, but coming around here, and with the throttle, same thing goes for the brakes. You go anything harder than a quarter, like a quarter on the brakes, and you're locking them, and you're going for a twist. In a way, that's not a bad thing. It just, this car is very, very responsive to the point where me personally, as someone who drives, the Corvettes, McLarens, stuff like that, where they're still very responsive cars, don't get me wrong, but they're not as responsive as this. They're more comfortable for me, whereas this just wasn't. This car almost felt, how do I put it? This car felt crazy in the sense that it genuinely scared me. Every time I had to restart this thing, I was dreading. I'm like, oh my god, I just want this video to be done and over with. I do not like driving this car around this track. Maybe around something like the Mazda Laguna circuit. Maybe on something like that with the corkscrew and everything, this car would be very good at. Yet again, I'm not sure. I don't see me driving this car ever again. to be fairly honest with you. You can see, like, I'm genuinely scared to put power down into this car because there were a lot of outtakes where I would just slam right into the wall. I mean, I must have done this 6-7 times. You guys are only seeing a few. This car is just... See, now, if Paul Walker got, you know, killed in this car, I wouldn't be as surprised. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised that any owner of this car crashes into a tree or a lamppost, because, as you can see right there, I was barely touching the gas pedal, and it started to spin on me. Coming around here, locked up the brakes a little bit. Still able to pull out. That's what she said. And lock the brakes. On to attempt number 3. Or is this 4? I'm not quite sure. Anyways, on to this attempt. You can see just one of my least favorite cars on my favorite track, and it almost makes me hate the track, you know. I don't, but in this car I do. And it's almost like the car has a mind of its own, and anything you do to it is just a suggestion. You can turn the wheel to the right ever so slightly, but, you know, it'll turn left if it wants. You know, you could just lightly dab on the brakes and, you know, it'll lock its brakes. It's very temperamental. Very much like a teenager. I would know because I am one. Well, was one. I'm almost 19, but yeah. And you can just... the suspension on this car, you feel everything. You feel like every bump, jump, drop, you're gonna fly out of your chair. Like, if I ever had to drive one of these, I would ask for one of those like over-the-shoulder restraints that they put on roller coasters that go over the loop-loops, because that's exactly what this car feels like when you're driving it at 225 kilometers an hour. It's a goddamn roller coaster. You have an idea of where it should be going. So, you know, you just let your body relax and point it in that direction. Whereas with the roller coaster, it just goes in its own direction. But with this, you know, it's almost like that roller coaster can derail at any time. Dun, dun, dun. Now, surprisingly, the game was okay with me bashing right into a wall, and the car was okay with it too. I mean, there really was no damage to it. I checked my second screen, the P-Cars Dash app that I use, and I think it only went down to 99% on the body. Now, the further I get through this track, the more comfortable I get with it, but it's almost like this is the opposite of the Alpine A450, except for the brakes. The brakes are very similar. Whereas with the Alpine, it was very responsive in a good way. It listened. You know, if you told it to turn right 15 degrees, you know, it would turn right 15 degrees, and you would know it. It's very... for a car that bottoms out a lot, it was still it was a lot more comfortable than this. But I mean, with the Alpine, you'd come out with a sore rear end. With this one, you'd come out with a sore everything. Because your body, just the amount of G-forces that your body is experiencing with this. Yeah, this is like a drift car is what this is. This is like, if Ariel Adam were to design a drift car, this would be the drift car. I mean, you put some drift tires on these things on this car, and you know you could compete with the likes of an RX-7 and a Skyline and whatever else you could be drifting out there. You know, BMW M5s, all that kind of fun stuff. Yeah. Even though I know this track, I'm still like, I'm taking these corners very cautiously, as I'm actually like, if I feel like if I go with them at speed, the car's not going to like it, and I'm going to end up in a wall. And one thing is, you know, I actually pre-ordered the Oculus Rift, so I'll probably start recording these videos using the Oculus Rift once I get it in July, hopefully. And I swear, if I was using the Oculus Rift with this thing, and it says, you know, I've never personally tried virtual reality, but if it's as immersive as people think it is, as people say it is, where it's just like, you know, you feel like you're there, you know, you feel like you are that person doing that thing, this video wouldn't be uploaded, and no other videos would be from then on, because I would probably die of a heart attack. I mean, and I'd probably be driving around this course not breaking 100. Again, it was okay with me going off track there for some reason, but I just kind of went with it. Just breathe into the mic, sorry about that. RIP headphone users. I feel like I'm saying that in every video now. Whatever. Yeah. I mean, I could probably push this car a bit harder, but I don't think Vin Diesel would have the gonads to push this any harder. Again, perfectly fine with me going off the track for some strange reason. It's very weird like that. I'm just happy that the fuel doesn't deplete, because that would make the car lighter and therefore faster and therefore harder to control. And I mean, the 5 liters or units or whatever it's got in there now, I think I have it set up for liters. You know, that's still nothing. Yeah, it's nothing, but it's still enough to kind of give me that sense of security, that sense of that there's weight in this car slowing it down. Honestly, you know, at the time of me doing this, I've already recorded for the Ariel Atom 500 V8 and then the other one, and the comparisons I'll make in those videos, you'll see just what I think about this car. But I'm not going to give you any spoilers or anything for those. Not really like the spoiler. I mean, it's a racing game, but you know, I gotta make you guys want to come back and watch the advertisements. Give me your money for watching those advertisements. Turn off that block. I mean, top speed wise, it's not slow by any means necessary. 231 kilometers an hour, that would, if you were not wearing goggles, your face would be ripped from your eye sockets. Like, and the thing is, this is a street legal car. You know, you take off the racing slicks and put proper street tires on them, and you can drive this on the road. And that's what scares me, is that there's actually people driving these on the streets. Anyways, tell me what you guys think. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you haven't, what the hell? Just hit that button. You're missing out on a lot of good shit, bruh. Till next time, peace.